Hey everyone, welcome to this week's special edition of the Inspired Parsha. This week we have the incredible privilege to read Parshas Vaeira. And again, there's so many beautiful, rich ideas contained within this Parsha, but I just want to highlight one. In this Parsha is one of the most famous verses. We highlight this every year on the great holiday of Pesach, on Passover. We talk about the 4 different levels of redemption. And we highlight it by drinking the 4 different cups of wine that we say highlight these different levels of redemption. So here's the verse. It's in Exodus chapter 6, verse 6, where I say unto the children of Israel, I am God, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will deliver you from their bondage, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm, and I will take you with great judgments. Those are the 4 different types. So what are some of the ideas behind this great redemption that we're talking about? So the great tzaddik, the great Hasidic master, Rabbi Shner Zalman of Liadi, who was the first Lubavitcher Rebbe, known as the Alter Rebbe, and he was most famous for his very famous book called the Tanya, which is still studied to this very day. He says that there's 4 different levels of redemption that the Torah is talking about. The first level is just simply, I will bring you out from the burden of the Egyptians. That's just taking you out of the physical bondage of slavery. So many people are, so to speak, slaves, even in today's day and age, slaves to our boss, etc. That the Tanya, the Baal Tanya explains that these 4 different levels weren't just for the times of the Egyptians, but it's our own personal journey today. We often are slaves. We're slaves, like I said, to our boss, to our job. And there's an idea of needing a certain amount of freedom to be able to escape that world, so to speak. The second level, of course, is I will bring you from their bondage. This is talking about negative traits. Very often when we've been slaves for so long, when we've been enslaved, we develop negative character traits, difficulties, pessimism, all kinds of negativity, cynicism. The second level is to be able to redeem ourselves emotionally from these traits that we've developed. And then the third level becomes even higher. The third level is I will redeem you with an outstretched arm. What does that mean? Here it's already starting to be that we're being redeemed. We're being redeemed into something positive. We're being redeemed into be able to see that there's a bigger purpose for this world. What we need, what we're looking for is positive spiritual growth. That's the third level. And then the fourth level, of course, is to be taken. We're taken out with great judgments. God is already taking us and elevating us to a spiritual level, a higher spiritual plane, where we are able to see, this is what we call enlightenment, when we've achieved a certain amount of spiritual wisdom, that we now know we've been more than just redeemed physically. We've now elevated ourselves towards a higher spiritual level. What an incredible message. The Torah wasn't just written for thousands of years ago. It's a journey for us today. So much of what we can learn from what happened to our ancestors apply to us today, and applies to us what we're seeing right now in Israel as well. We're experiencing a certain amount of slavery, of difficulty. We're enslaved to what our enemies are trying to do to us, and people around the world that are trying to paint the Jewish people, especially the state of Israel, in a negative eye. What we're asking for is to be redeemed on a personal level, on a national level as well. But not just to be redeemed, not just to be taken out of those places, but to actually start to see the world for its good, to be able to be elevated to that next level of spiritual awareness, so to speak, of enlightenment, to be able to see once again the goodness that is contained within this world. I always like to leave everyone with a blessing each week. My blessing is, let us try to reach all 4 the highest level of redemption, where we're not only taken out of the difficulties of this world, but we're able to elevate ourselves, and as a nation as well, to be able to see the higher good, be able to experience that fulfillment and enlightenment, to be able to see the greater purpose that exists within this world. I want to wish everyone here a wonderful Shabbos, and thank you so much for listening to me.